What's up, guys? It's another Music Gear Monday. I'm Carl Carell, and we're here at my guy's studio, Audio Hook. If you don't know about it, put a link in the description below. You can check it out. We are here checking out this Poly D by Behringer, paying homage to a Moog Model D, I would say. Very, very similar in design. A lot of cool little bells and whistles on this guy for a fraction of the cost, but still packs a pretty punch. When it comes to sound design, we're gonna look at some of the features on this thing and mess around, just have some fun today on Music Gear Monday. Looking at this Poly D, it's a lot to take in, and for somebody that you don't have a lot of analog gear, it could be a little overwhelming, but it's bite size. And for anybody that is into analog gear, you could look at this and go, easy. Not me, but anybody else could do that. So the Poly D, you got 37 keys to work with, semi-weighted keys. You have a pitch and a mod wheel. Makes it easier for you to go all Ken Griffey Jr. on it. Up at the top here, you have a transpose, a glide, and a LFO rate knob. This first section here, you got your tuning, global tuning. You have your mod, which is mono, uni, and poly, and this is what we were talking about earlier. Monophonic, polyphonic, and uni, all voices but mono, right? Yep. So, and then you have an auto damp, you have a glide and modulation mix knob, and then you have oscillators, which I have all four, filter EG, noise, and LFO switches at the bottom here. You have a switch for your oscillators. Boom. In this middle section, you have oscillators 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have the different ranges that you can switch between, and then you have the different waveforms that you could switch between. Next to that, you have, this is volume control, right? This is just all volume control. External instrument volume, because you could run something into it. Gotcha. Okay, so that's external instrument volume or external in volume. You've got a noise volume control in case you want to add some of that noise to your sounds. You want to get a little more cinematic, add some noise, you can. Next to that, you have your filter switches, modulation switch, keyboard control switch, and decay, which are going to control all your different filters. So like cutoff, emphasis, amount, your contour, attack, decay, sustain. Anybody that plays any synths or keyboards probably knows what these different filters and effects do. You have switches to turn them off and on here to route them through. Next to that, you have distortion, tone, and level for both your distortion and tone. Off and on switch to basically toggle them off and on. Below that, you have a built-in chorus effect, which is really cool because you go from no chorus effect to below that, you have tempo and gate. That's going to control your sequencer. This whole section is your sequencer. And so you can set your arpeggiator on, and you can basically hold some keys out. Switch the hold on. Have those notes held. That's helpful when you want to dial in some different sounds without having your keys. So yeah, you have a headphone out right above your power switch, and then on the back, so this is the back of your Poly D, and lots of external controls to work with, lots of ins and outs. From left to right, you have a power input here, DC input, power input. Next to that, you have a USB in and out, I would assume for firmware updates and to use as a MIDI controller and also run audio through. You know about that? Audio
Yeah,
in and
you
out.
can.
Next to that, you have MIDI in and out, MIDI through to control other MIDI devices or be controlled by other MIDI devices. Next to that, you have after pressure. So you have expression control with this whole section here, these after touches. Pitch and trigger, velocity as well. You could set these all to pedals, I'm assuming. Pedals or other devices, I would assume. This is where all your control. You have external signal input, so that's what I was talking about earlier, where you can actually send some audio into this guy and be able to control it with that volume and some of those effects. You have a sync, so this is a clock sync, MIDI sync out here. You have your main outputs balanced left and right. You have external trigger, and then you have, I don't know what loudness is. What's loudness? Loudness. But you have these external control inputs here, or other synths to be able to control this guy. But that's the back in a nutshell. This keyboard is also a angled keyboard. You can do it flat or at an angle, right? This little thing right here will allow you to angle up your keyboard so that if you have it on a stand, it's easier for you to play around with all those filters.
Yeah, do that. Remember?
Yeah. So that folds down and the whole keyboard goes flat. If you want to do it, you can do it like so. So we went over some of the features. You probably can't see me. It's probably blurry.
Peace out.